Okay, guys, let's jump right into it. I don't want to waste your time here. The information you've been waiting for. I'm going to start with the incentives. Whenever I start pricing anything, I always start with how much I want to spend, which is my budget, and how much I'm going to get in return. But what most people forget to include in this is advertisement and marketing. So, a part of my marketing for this pop up shop that's coming is incentives. I'm going to have Ferrero Collection chocolate, raffle tickets, and a discount wheel where they spin it and they can get one of these discounts with a sale. And then there's another tier of incentives. It's going to be super hot. I'm in Florida. So water, Coca-Cola, and some huge chocolate bars for cheap. So this is meeting their needs and getting them to even come to the tent so that they can be intrigued by the incentives to begin with. All right, and as you can see, this is my real deal list, how I do things. I homeschool my daughter, so this is why I have this huge whiteboard, but it came in handy for me too. Anyway, back on topic. My budget for this. I didn't really set a budget. I literally went in my Amazon cart and all of the other store websites to price out everything that I needed. And I did a cost evaluation for you guys. I'm thinking about you for if you're just now starting up. I'm kind of new to the market myself because normally I just sell online. So all this information is fresh. So for the promotional side, that's my flyers, cards, and things like that, bags, whatever, $100. The setup cost for me is only $600 because I have a lot of things. It could be cheaper than this. You can literally get one table for $60. You can add a tablecloth, you can add a tent, you can add decorations and things like that. So $600 is not bad. But when it comes to starting out completely, it'll cost more than that. I started my business with $500, but it was very, very stressful having to constantly not have a profit. I was working for free because every order I got had to be reinvested in the business so that I could have a savings account for my business so that I could have enough. E-commerce moves fast. So you have to always have enough money for your cost of goods, if that makes sense. The incentives, $100. That's what we went over here. Inventory. The cost of goods is how much your inventory is going to cost. For me, I went over briefly. I did not get exact numbers for my inventory that I have here. But in order to meet the ROI that I'm after, which is $1,500 from inventory alone, my inventory cost is most likely going to be around $2,400 to make a profit because I mark up all my goods by 40%. So I know some people will take the cost of goods and multiply it by 3, but honestly, I think this is a little overpriced, so I don't do that. I literally mark everything up 40%, and so that would literally just be 2,400 times 1.4, and then that will be your price. All right, so I'm also selling chocolate. If I sell out of everything, this is the ROI, the return on investment I will get. $1,500 from inventory, $44 from chocolate, $28 from water bottles, and $38 from Coke. And this is me being Coca-Cola, just to be specific. But this is me being very conservative as well. And it does not matter if you sell out at that market in particular or not, because you will sell your inventory eventually. So you will make this money back eventually. And so as long as you know it's a smart investment, you have good products, you have something that people want, you fulfill a need for people, then it's safe to know or to bet on you will make this money. And this is profit. So in order for me to make that profit, I literally have to make $2,400, which is my cost of goods. I have to make the $1,500. And then let's say all of the Coke and chocolate and water costs $100. I have to make that back. Plus the 44, the 28, and the 38. So you guys, do the math. This is revenue. All of this money is revenue. All revenue means is money that has touched your hands or your bank account. That is the money that came in. That does not mean profit. Profit is the money that you take home after you've paid for all of your products again in order to make it the cost of goods. Another thing that I want to mention in this video, it's very important, is the cost of the market. I'm going to call that COM because I'm not erasing anything on my board because I need this. I'm using this for my market. But cost of the market. Most markets range from $0 to $100 to set up shop there. Honestly, there's way too many free markets. Even Walmart, which is a huge retailer where I'm located, will allow you to set up shop outside for free. You just have to contact them and sign up. So I definitely don't recommend spending $100 or more than $100 for one pop-up shop, because that's when your profits will start getting eaten away by the markets. So for instance, if you go to a market and you don't sell everything, you don't sell out, then let's say you sold nothing, which is the worst case scenario, then you'll be negative whatever the market costs to be there. And so if you are negative whatever the cost of the market is 15 times, guess what? Even if you finally sell out all of your inventory that 15th market, you will still be out of $1,500 because of the last 14 markets you went to that you sold nothing. And so you would only profit what you sold on chocolate and candy and things like that. So that's kind of a waste of a time even going, because you just worked for free twice, making your products or goods or craft or whatever it might be, and going out there in the heat, hustling, selling, talking to customers, and all of that. And so you don't want that to happen. So until you know that you are going to sell out, I recommend going to free pop-up shops or free locations so that you can learn how to deal with your customers, how to manage your shop, until you get a feel of the flow of the checkout and your POS system and how to sell. Selling is a skill that can be learned. You should not be after the money. You should be after the person, after what their spirit feels like. What do they need? What do they want to buy? And what's stopping them? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. But here's a glance at my board. Sorry for the sloppy writing. When I'm in my mood, I'm just scribbling everywhere. But take a screenshot if you need to. Oh, and I also have my to-do list. I start preparing for the market at least a month or a month and a half beforehand so that I can keep my regular sales online going, as well as creating 10 to 20 products specifically for the market every single day during that time so I can have maximum inventory. So whatever you are equipped to do as well, along with keeping your regular customers happy, then definitely go for it. But this is not something you want to procrastinate on, because people will know if you were sloppy and just threw it together last minute. So this is my do now list for this week. I'm going to finish up the labels, get samples together for each product, go over the cost of goods and the pricing one more time, because my pricing is different for pop-up shops than it is online. Online, there's a lot of fees and things like that. So because I don't have all of those, I call them gateway fees. You gotta pay to get your way. But because I don't have all those fees, I'm able to offer these discounts of 5, 10, 15, 20% off, not including POS fees, because I am going to be using my POS system so that I can keep track of my inventory, and so that the government portion, you know, taxes and all that doesn't get screwed up. Everything will be in one place, handled for me. So after, I'm going to give you one last example. Let's say my COG for mascara is $2 to make it. That's very sloppy, but whatever. $2 to make the mascara. I'm going to price it at 2 times 1.4. So that'll be $2.40. But you have to add on, one second, to this $2. It's not just the mascara itself. You have packaging. Normal price for packaging is $1 per package for basic packaging. You have labels. If you make your own labels, I make my labels for less than 5 cents each. It's around, honestly, a fraction of a penny per label, because I can get like 5 labels on a page and I pay less than $1 for that page. And because I have HP Instant Ink subscription, I get my paper and my ink delivered every month. 20 bucks, 500 prints, super cheap. And I have a Cricut machine, which was a upfront investment, but it's now paying off because I can make my own labels. So my labels, I'm literally just gonna put like 5 cents on there. And then what else? If you have any like boxes or bags, you would divide the cost of all of that by how many products you're bringing, so that you pay for the market. And if you are making an initial, sorry, my throat hurts. But if you are making an initial investment to get things, you divide that cost by each one of your goods. So I literally, when I bought my Cricut, I added $1 to each one of my products sold until that Cricut was paid for. And then I reduced the price, either through promotions or discounts or whatever. So really that $2 mascara is now $4, 5 cents. Plus labor. How much do you want to pay yourself? How long did it take you to make that mascara? And so one way that I pay myself is a percentage of all of the profit. I don't really have time to, I do have time, but honestly, I work so much. My business can't afford to pay me hourly, if that makes sense. Because if I pay myself $10 an hour, I've been working on stuff, technically working all day, because I've been doing research and designing and planning and things like that. I enjoy doing that. But once it's done, you really don't have to do it. Right now, I'm going through rebranding, so that's why it's like this. So I pay myself by percentages. That's with a whole different video. I'll go over how to pay yourself from a corporation. But right now, back to this. That $2 mascara is now $4.05 to pay for everything. You don't want to have to pay for any of this. Your customer wants fancy packaging, they have to pay for it. So $4.05 times 1.4. This is the price you will pay, you'll charge if there are no fees to use the POS. This is a cash price only. So let's go erase this. All right, so just using it, random number here. Let's say your cash price is $5, but your POS system charges you 3%, 3.5% plus 15 cents. plus sales tax. So literally, it's going to be about 17% after everything is done. If you're using, let's say, Etsy, 17, it's going to be about 10% because Etsy takes out taxes for the customer. But if you don't charge your customer taxes, it'll be 17% or whatever your tax rate is in your state. So we're going to use Etsy's. Etsy charges the customer taxes and their fees add up to about 10%. So $5 times 1.1. So that's going to be about $6.50 that you need to charge this customer in order to make 40% profit margin and have all of your fees and cost of goods covered. That's with 10% POS charges or gateway charges, what I call it. So $6.50. So if so-and-so down the way, because you'll see this a lot, and this is my last point that I'm going to make before this video is done, and I see you next time. But if so-and-so in the next shop is selling their product for $3, they think like maybe they have a supplier that you don't know about and they're getting it for super cheap, or they're buying in bulk to the point where they can charge this. But honestly, after everything we went over, the cost of goods, packaging, POS fees, sales tax, do you think they're actually turning a profit? I see a lot of stores, specifically on Etsy, that are charging so little because they are not handmade. They have a huge manufacturer or whatever, or drop shipping, and they have millions and millions of customers, so they can afford to make 10 cents or 20 cents or 30 cents per sale because of the quantity of sales they are at. But honestly, if you do that, you're never going to get to that point because it's unreasonable for you to be able to work that much to have 1 million sales in the amount of time that they will. So do not compete with people that are not turning a profit and actually losing money just so they can get their sales up, because some people are willing to do that. They're paying for something. And so if you're going to pay $3 for the same mascara that somebody else is charging $6.50 for, yes, I'm going to write a beautiful review and the sales are going to go up, but they're not turning a profit. Right now, they're paying for sales is what they're doing. Another thing is the quality. The quality may not be there. So don't go lowering your prices if you know $6.50 is the lowest you can go, or you will be losing money. Some people charge, if you have a little bit larger customer base, 20%. So times 1.2 instead of times 1.4. 20% profit margin, in my opinion, is very low. And this is the reason why. Damage happens. Whenever accidents happen, your products get damaged, you need to be able to cover that. So that's another unseen fee that you have to cover. Theft happens. And so this is why some people charge 3 times the amount necessary to cover loss and theft, damage, unusable returns and things like that. But honestly, me, I just don't accept returns. If you're an adult and you're making a purchase,